my goodness. Nothing quite gets your heart going. Well, as you can probably hear, we are weaning the spring cows and calves. So we're doing one batch today that's the younger ones, the twins that have been on the creep through the summer. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing the big batch that are currently out the hill. So taking down to the farm, we'll then separate the cows from the calves. They will then pick out any empty cows that are for going, and we'll keep them down because hopefully they'll be going the next few days. And cows in calf that are okay are going back out the hill where they stay until January, and then calves obviously go across into the new shed, the lambing shed. So yeah, lots going on, lots to fit in. We are also clipping the calves' backs because obviously they're being housed now, so idea being that I'll let the steam out hopefully, and it'll prevent sort of a pneumonia risk as well. So yeah, but of course I will share as much as I can with you. So this is the majority of the spring cows and calves are out here on the hill, as you can see. So we're just away to try and gather them off the hill here, slightly closer to the farm, and then we will wean the calves tomorrow, and the calves will stay at the farm in the new lambing shed, and the cows will come back out here. So there's some nice big strong calves here. So give the spring cows a wee break now, and they'll then come inside for calving in February. So we'll just go around the hill and make sure we've got them all. One that likes to take a different route, isn't there? Here's one of the older cows in her calf, but she knows the score. She's heading for the gate anyway. gosh, I forgot what it looked like without all the gates and the sheep handling set up in. So, first lot of calves weaned and into the shed. So we've got heifers at this end and the stots are at the far end, and all the blocks are back in, all the sheep trocks are out. So now we just get some silage for these guys. But oh my gosh, it feels so weird again to see it with cattle in. It's so insane to see so many different changes in this shed over the past year. And now it's full circle and back to cattle again. It's just, yeah, it's really strange to see actually with beasts back in it and it all set up again. But yeah, here's to our second winter with our new shed. Here we go. The first feed in the new shed. So I'm gonna put out a whole strip here tonight, and then that'll be ready for tomorrow for when we float the calves across. Because obviously we'll have lots to do tomorrow, so if we can have the feed out in front of them, that'll obviously save a bit of time. Now I'm sure some of you are probably thinking, how do we wean them? Do we wean them here? Do we wean them across there? What's the plan? So basically what happens is we'll take the cows down to the farm in the morning, down into the bottom shed where we're calving, and then we will separate the calves, and the empty cows will go into one section and the good cows will go straight back out into the shed into the close. We will then ideally put the cows up as quickly as possible, so they're not left here too long for them to realise what's happened. And then we'll sort through the empty cows and the calves. So calves will be getting their backs clipped as well, and then empty cows will get their tags checked, and then hopefully, as I mentioned, they'll be going off farm pretty soon. Then we will, because we're weaning at the farm and clipping their backs in the race, that then means that we have to get them back across the road, and the only way we can do that safely and easily is by floating them across. So depending on how big they are, we'll probably get maybe 5 or 6 in the float at a time. So yes, it is a bit of work, but no matter where we did it before, we used to do it up the hill in the handling system, and we would have to float them down from the hill. So at least this is a much shorter journey. And then once they're in here, they'll obviously be a wee bit stressed, a wee bit upset for a wee while, a few days, because obviously, you know, it's a bit of a shock to them. These ones are slightly younger than the autumn ones when they get weaned, so a lot of them will still be sucking. So as I say, it will be stressful for them, so we'll try and reduce that stress as much as possible. Again, by clipping their backs, that, you know, lets the sweat out, lets the steam out, so hopefully that'll prevent them from getting ill. And in our new big airy shed as well, that'll hopefully help just keep them healthy. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of roaring. There's going to be a lot of roaring because they'll be a wee bit upset, they'll be a wee bit stressed, but we'll try and do it as calmly and as quickly as possible to try and minimise that stress. And we'll obviously be keeping a very close eye on the calves and the cows, but more so the calves, just to make sure that they're all okay and there's nothing. I'm going to be working on them in the next few days. So I'm just going along now and putting the feed out, as I said, to this shed, and we'll hopefully they'll figure out the feed barriers. That's another thing as well, you know, obviously they're not used to these head yolks. They're not, like, this is the first time they've been inside eating as calves, like when they're wee babies, you know, they're born sort of February, March, April, and they pretty much are just on their mother's milk and then straight out to grass. So it's really important that we make sure that they are learning to eat out the front. So that's another thing to look out for. But yeah, as I say, we'll be checking them regularly, so we're keeping a very close eye on them. I also find it really funny because, like, when they first come in here just now, they're just such small little babies, and then when they come out of here in February, so in like 4 months time, they're huge, big, strong, powerful calves ready to go on to the next buyer and finish hopefully well and quickly for them. But yeah, they just look so small in this shed. Yeah, it's just weird seeing it as a cattle court again. So as I mentioned there, I said it's obviously stressful for the calves, it's stressful for the cows. So some of you are probably thinking, well, why do we do it? So basically we do it for the benefit of the calves and also the cows. So the calves, like humans, get to a point where they no longer require milk from their mothers and they get weaned. So you wean them onto food, and for the likes of these calves, we wean them onto like barley, protein, silage diet. So they're at the point now where they don't require the same, well, they don't require milk at all from their mothers. And the cows obviously also need a chance to recover because they are carrying their next calf. So their bodies need a chance to recover and start focusing more on looking after themselves, but also looking after their growing calf inside them. So that's a very basic reason why we do it, is because it's natural. It gets to that stage, and the calves obviously need, for our system, this is just the way we work, for our calves, for our system, they're ready to be pushed on a wee bit and be given barley and protein and silage, as I've said, to get them, you know, fleshing up, growing, ready for the next buyer to buy them, push them on that wee bit more, and then hopefully finish them really quickly. And then obviously finish them ending up into the food chain. So that's just for our system. I totally understand everyone has different views, different opinions, different breeds, different setups. But please just remember, I'm just sharing what we do. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's purely just what works for us in our current enterprise. So you can see there that the calves are starting to pop their heads out, which is really good because obviously they're not used to, as I've mentioned, they're not used to any sort of yoke or barrier. And with the head yokes, obviously they have to start at the top and push their head out through for it then to slide down. So it'll just take a wee bit of getting used to, but hopefully the smell of that appetising silage will help pull their heads through. So you can see there there's a few of them, so that's good. Have a busy morning this morning. We are weaning our big batch off the hill. So started early, got the mixer wagon going here, and I did the bottom shed first because obviously we'll be using the pass to shed the cows and calves out, so letting them out just now to eat, and then obviously these guys, it doesn't affect these guys, so yep. Then going to take them all down, get them all sorted, try and get the cows back up the hill as quickly as possible, and then they'll sort through the calves, do their backs, etc, etc. So it's been a nice fresh morning again, so that's really good. Everybody should be dry and it's nice and crisp, so hopefully everything will go to plan. But as always, come along with me. cows that we're no longer breeding with are here, as well as a few that we're wanting to keep down over winter, and then all the calves. So they're separated into these two sections, and the cows that are good and in calf are going back up the hill, and they are out here standing. So we're just going to take them straight back out the hill now and try and get them up without any hassles. But yeah, let's see how this goes. We're just trying to keep the cows moving here, make sure that they can't turn round and get back past us. So that's us nearly at the hill now, and then they'll get a chance to get a break. Back at the farm, here are the calves coming down the race. So they'll be getting their backs clipped, and then when they come out the crush, they'll also be getting sexed. So stocks will be going one way, heifers going the other. So as I mentioned before, we're clipping their backs here just to let the sweat out. Obviously they are going to be a bit stressed, a bit worked up after weaning here, so, and then being shut in the shed all winter. They're also going to be getting introduced to a barley diet, so these calves haven't seen any concentrate feed. Hopefully not sweat, and it'll keep them healthier. These calves were all born February to April this year, so they're heading across to the new lambing shed where they will stay now until February before they're sold as stores at about 10 to 12 months old. And before anyone starts making a smart comment, no, I'm not a professional at this. This is just a get the job done kind of thing. So we're just wanting to make sure that we can get this done as quickly as possible. Obviously as safely as possible, but making sure that we're not stressing the calves out any more than they probably already will be. So as I said, we'll be sexing them as they come out here, and then they'll be getting floated across to the lambing shed. Here is Davy just taking a couple of heifers, so they were going into this shed on the left here. He's just taking them and popping them round. Well, that's it. All over. Cows back up the hill. Calves' tails and backs clipped. So we're just going to float them across to the lambing shed now. Got them sexed as well. So this is the heifers. So this is some of the heifers. We've actually got more heifers than we do stocks this year, just the way it's worked out. So we'll start floating them over. Davey's here as well, so he's going to get his float, and Dad's gone for our float. So it really shouldn't take very long. But we'll get them in and get them settled. What's going on? There's lots of noise obviously, as I've explained, but you know, it's a nice day. It's not too warm. So hopefully we'll get away with it. It's obviously a concern because, as I've mentioned before, you know, it's stressful for them. So try and reduce that stress as much as possible if we can. But yeah, we shall get them across the shed, get them settled, and it's a nice airy shed. See how good Davey's reversing skills are. Two floats on the go. He's smiling for once. Second attempt. Can he do this in a oneer? That is the question. Different kind of concentration face there. Do well! So all of that is done. Now we have to bed everyone, because obviously we've been putting cows into creeps and sorting them into different pens and steering up the other ones, so everything's a bit black. So just going to give everything a nice fresh bed for tonight, make sure everything's kept nice and clean, and feed the old cattle quarter again. They get fed twice a day because it's an old shed. Can't get in there with mixer wagon, so we have to grape it off. Can't get a lot into the trough because not a lot of space. So yeah, long story short, they get fed twice a day. So she's going to try and start this old gal. See if she's going to go and get the wee trailer filled up here. So I've just emptied some out the mixer, and then loader, bucket, fill this, back it in, grape it off. So it's a wee bit of work, but hey, good old workout. Think of the positives. Oh my goodness. Nothing quite gets your heart going like just about to just standing looking at the calves and two eyes are glaring back at you. That would be from a cow who came charging down the field and was heading straight for the new fence. Thankfully she cleaned the fence and cleaned the gates. So Davey came across and was like, there's cows back at the shed, we'll need to go have a look. Just as well he did, because there was all the rest of the cows were literally I don't know, I'm not great at measurements as you know, but all the other cows were literally 200 yards from the main road, but they have come through 1, 2, 3, 4 different fences. So yeah, 20 seconds later and they would have been on the main road, which is utterly terrifying because it's dark outside. Oh my god, got them back up, we're now building a barricade with bales. Well, it is the morning after. Calves are all still in the shed. No more cows have made it back, thankfully. So, as you can see here, they're still obviously a wee bit upset. They're still, you know, it's not even been 24 hours yet. Give it another 24 hours and they'll be absolutely fine. So, just pushed up the silage here. We'll start to introduce barley slowly to them, but obviously because they've not had anything before now, we don't want to go in too hard and cause potential issues. So we'll just start it off very, very minimal and build them up gradually. Anyway, I think that's it for this one. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this weaning one. Please let me know in the comments. Feel free to give it a wee like and subscribe. And as always, please feel free to check out my merch. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you for the next one.